Hi, Tarot fam. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner and psychic for over 35 years. And in this video, we are going to talk about what would Prince Harry's life look like if he lived purely as himself. No titles, no expectations, no pressures, no palace legacy. Today, by viewer request, we're going to explore Harry's soul future path, what work fits with his truest nature, who he is at the core, and what his perfect life would be. So maybe he can correct choice if he chooses. We will be right back. Hey, Tarot fam, welcome back. This is Fortune Cookies Tarot. If you're new here, and there's a lot of new ones, I know there's a whole bunch of new ones. I've seen the subscriber bloom. I'm Annabelle. I'm a psychic, medium, tarot reader for over 35 years. I'm very old. I am the hardest working psychic on YouTube. But I am going to tour guide you through the headlines, history, and everything that's in between. So this week, I'm going to be testing out a brand new format. I want you guys to pay attention to that. It's going to be really fun. What we're going to do is I'm going to do a teaser short, then a whole production video, and then we're going to do a live, and I will be open for hours on Hipsy, which is a new app that I've been testing out. It's kind of like Uber for psychics. It's kind of like an instant read, but you can also book recorded readings, and there's going to be a scheduling feature in the future. If you guys are my tried and true regular clients, I still have my Calendly app open. I am not getting rid of that anytime soon because I know a lot of you love it, but we are going to have some fun with this, and we're going to see how this new format works. I think it's going to be a little bit easier. My videos will be a little bit earlier in the morning. My content pillars are going to stay in place. So Mixtape Monday is going to stay there, where you guys are driving that content. I take quick questions from all of you from the chat. 2 for Tuesday, I'm going to change for this week, and it's just going to be viewer choice Tuesday. So if you want to drop comments down below, we will read on those. But the rest of the content, World Politics Wednesday, we have Scandals and Royals on Thursday, and then Fan Favorite Friday. So usually that's going to be on the Royal family. So I know you guys love the Royals. Saturday, Greg and I are going to try and get back to Supernat Saturday. So we'll have some fun with that. But I know you guys like reads, so we'll see what we're going to do with that. Maybe we'll dive into something kind of cool. But let's jump into this reading on Harry right now. So we are going to talk about who Harry is at his soul level. And this is something that a lot of my clients and a lot of my tarot students like to examine. They like to figure out what their soul path was in this lifetime, what they were supposed to do. So we're going to unpack it for Harry. As always, as I bring up the card view, please hit that like button. It's so important for YouTube to know that you like this video. And let's giddy up, buttercups. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. It is Gratitude Sunday, so be grateful for anything that you have good in your life. I've got a great husband, I've got great kids, I've got 5 cats, and I've got a crazy dog. So I'm happy about all those things. And most of all, I've got you guys who are, this is my business. So you guys are great. You're, just by watching, just by liking, by subscribing, by becoming members, you guys are supporting my business. So I really appreciate that. But again, if you want your own magical reading and you want to find out what your soul path is, give me a hit on Hipsy or on my Calendly link. They are both down below. So who is Harry at a soul level? We're going to look at his personality, character, core wounds, core strengths. So what is the true elemental nature of Harry's soul? So we're going to lean in and see if we get some minor arcana. The wands are fire, the swords are wind, the cups are water, and the pentacles are earth. So we'll see what he is doing here. What is his true element? And we've got water. We've got the Queen of Cups, and the queens whisper the king's command. Remember that. The pages dream it up, and the knights go out and secure the materials or make it happen. So very, very cool here. So he is cultivating in this lifetime. True elemental nature of him is cultivating stability in his emotions, to impart to others what his heart truly feels. That is the elemental nature in this lifetime. So if not pleasing people, he's going to feel a little out of sorts. So if he is with someone who says, Harry, you did wrong. You didn't do well at this. You didn't make me pleased with that crayon drawing. You didn't make me pleased with that gift that you gave me, perhaps an engagement ring, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to break him, and it is going to make him feel a little off center. So we're going to leave that big, beautiful queen up there. What karmic themes define his internal identity? Self-control. The strength card is self-control, and it's sustained self-control. And what the image in the Rider-Waite does explain to the novice reader, or even the the well-seasoned reader like me, is that a lion is always a lion. We can train a lion. If we don't maintain that training, the beast may go back to its normal, expected, and conditional behavior. So while we can change some behaviors, there are some behaviors that we need to stay on top of and we can't walk away from. So that is one of the karmic themes, self-control. And I think that we do see in his world that sometimes there is a bit of impulsiveness, even when he was younger, continues to this day, a little bit of impulsiveness and a little bit of not thinking, almost operating like on a motor. So what else do we have? Justice in reverse. That is always feeling persecuted. He always feels persecuted. That's a shame. One more. Raw materials and talent. Now that is interesting, because the challenge for him karmically is to have the raw materials and talent, but to learn self-control and to avoid feeling persecuted at all times. That is quite the trick for him. And it doesn't seem that he is really executing that very well. What hidden self is behind his public persona? What hidden self do we have here? And that is someone who wants to overflow with love. That makes sense with that Queen of Cups right there. So he wants to exhibit love, good behavior. He wants others to feel well. Perhaps this is why he was kind of the puckish jokester in the royal family, because he was trying to find a purpose within the royal family. He was not, technically speaking, in the direct line of succession because his brother was older than him. So what could he be in that kind of scope? He could be the guy who makes everybody laugh, the guy who doesn't have to be serious, the guy who can be the puckish kind of devil may care prince. So maybe we saw a little bit of this in his uncle Andrew, but in a different direction. I think Harry was headed in that direction until we got to the Las Vegas naked billiards. So I do think that his course was redirected by the powers that be in the royal family as that unfolded. So he does want people to feel good. He wants to be the party guy. He wants to be the life of the party and the guy that cracks the good jokes. He wants to. We saw echoes of that on the Stephen Colbert show as well. So I do think making everyone feel emotionally buoyant, effervescent, is something that he wants to do. What patterns does he repeat because of past karmic conditioning? Three of Cups. That is over imbibement, possibly substance abuse, and always getting stuck in the way of looking at things as the cup is half full. Do I think that there is a substance coping ability? And again, this is my psychic opinion. Yes, I do. From the cards, we do see that. We see that this is a problem that he's had in lifetimes before, and he is not overcoming it in this lifetime, which is unfortunate. But I do think that all of this pouring out, trying to make others feel better, he needs to pour a little bit of that internally, because this is something that he self-medicates. I'm going to say it there, guys. I think that he self-medicates. This 3 of Cups right here, the 3 of Cups does indicate that there is excessive use or inappropriate use of substances. So it's unfortunate, and that makes him get stuck in this idea of, I am perennially disappointed. And this is something, again, that I don't think that he's overcoming in this lifetime. So that is unfortunate for him. I want to clean up our real estate here. What gifts does he not use? I think this is really important, because we all have gifts that we don't use. What gifts does he not use? 1, the 6 of Wands. When he does succeed, he does not really appreciate his contribution to it. And in this lifetime, perhaps that's because we have people like art and history teachers that are helping him with his homework, kind of buoying him along the route so that they don't show poor grades, poor work ethics, those kinds of things. So what else doesn't he use? Chariot in reverse. And the 6 of Swords. You know, in this lifetime, he does not use the gift that he does not have to. He didn't have to. I'm going to do that in the past tense. He didn't have to really do very much to be a success. He was born into success by the accident of birth. So the 6 of Swords there, instead of advancing within that framework, he ran. So the gifts that he did not use was the gift of where he was born, that accident of birth. Now, I don't know about you guys. I wasn't born a princess. I don't know how many of you out there are watching were born into royal families or imperial families or noble families, but Harry really did not appreciate that gift. He was given a huge platform and a huge position in order to advance himself in the world. So there we go. So those are the gifts that he doesn't use. What emotional or spiritual healing is needed before he can evolve? He has to stop with the dissatisfaction. Many of us would give our eye teeth or, our right arm to be born into that position. That sad squirrel is a card that is specific to the Mystical Medleys deck, which we're using today. There'll be a link down below for Amazon if you'd like to get this deck for yourself. It is an Amazon affiliate link, so I will get a small fee or commission without any additional cost to you. But I like to do that. I teach tarot as well. I teach psychics, and you guys like to get these cards sometimes when you see them featured on here. So have at it. Go get the deck. But this dissatisfaction and this, theme of being hard done by is something that is, he really can't get off it. He really is just like, oh, I'm just poor me, the poor little prince, the poor, it's like the depressed heiress kind of thing. He is just stuck in that. So he's got to get over that. And I don't know if he will. So let's see what else we have. Harry's soul aligned work and purpose. So this would be his career, vocational identity, what calling. If Harry were not a royal, what work would naturally flow from his energy in this lifetime? So one of the things when we look at the minor arcana, we can get vocations and work, those kinds of things in the royal court, the page, knight, queen, and king. They are aligned with different vocations, different skill sets, those kinds of things. So let's see if we get any of them to show up in this. The minor arcana is the regular playing card deck. In the tarot deck, it is from ace to 10. And again, our suits are wands, swords, cups, and pentacles. So what would he do? Six of cups in reverse, six of wands, four of cups. This is kind of cool because if he were not a royal, his work would be in correcting course for individuals that have PTSD. So I think this is very interesting because he did have a partnership with Better Up, which is a company that has an app that will allegedly provide you a thought leader or a mental health coach. And Harry has been leaning into this. Perhaps this is why we have seen him with so much mental trauma, and he has been trying to correct his own course. So I do, and he also had Heads Together. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that first. Heads Together with the Prince and Princess of Wales. So that was one of their endeavors, one of their I don't know if it was actually a patronage, but it was something that they were involved with. So I do think that Harry would have been very much involved in mental health coaching, those kinds of things, had he not been a part of the royal family. I think he is positioned to do that, to use his experience, his heartbreak, in order to help others. What type of environment would bring out his gifts? 10 of Swords, people that are absolutely destitute and that need a bright and shiny spot to help them cultivate a new pathway forward. So, working in homeless shelters, working with wayward teens, working with unwed mothers, people that are, living on the skids, like this is his wheelhouse. He would be very, very good in this. What does his soul need for fulfillment in terms of the following? Leadership. That would be changing the way that he projects his voice and the ideas that he is trying to convey to others. So, I do think his leadership is not so much telling. Well, for fulfillment, he would be explaining to people how to formulate their own thought patterns forward, their own thought architecture, action architecture. He would have to explain how to do that, not what to do. It's a little bit different. So, not telling us not to vote, don't vote for Donald Trump, vote for Joe Biden, vote for Hillary Clinton, whomever, he was campaigning for, because he did campaign. I'm just sorry, I have to say that. But telling them the how to decide who gets your vote, how to decide who you pay attention to, how to decide what you ignore. That part, the how, not the what, is more important for him in terms of leadership. What about healing service? Healing service, I think, would be that everyone is broken. Everyone has some level of emotional disappointment. And so that everyone is broken. We're all in the same boat. We all have the ups and downs of our lives. No one, not even a prince, lives an entire life of blessings and a road paved with gold. Not everyone has that. So what about teaching and mentoring? What would fulfill him? Again, this is teaching individuals how to uncover their pathway forward, not what they should do. This is like, instead of saying snap out of it when somebody's having an anxiety attack, it's more of, let me show you what works for me, and let me tell you about some techniques that work for other people. So it's the how, not the what. So really, really curious. So what career direction would give him stability and peace in this lifetime? Page of Cups, Five of Wands, and the Devil. So the Page of Cups is really starting with the self and saying, I'm not happy. I'm not happy being a prince. I'm not happy being a former prince. I said that. I'm not happy being a former royal. I'm not happy doing the things that I'm doing today. But coming together with others and saying, this is the direction I want to go in. This is what, so it is almost out of chaos. He does find stability, not necessarily peace, because we have that devil card there, but stability and purpose. So again, we are all broken. We all have moments of low. We all have moments of high. But for Harry, it is recognizing that in a comprehensive way, not in a gossipy, I'm broken kind of way, but I'm broken and I'm fixing it now. The commitment to fixing it, not the victim narrative where I'm always a victim. He's got to say, I'm fixing it now. This is not a comfortable pair of shoes. I need to get in a different one. That is what he needs to do. And then that becomes where he finds stability, because he can lead others out of the darkness there. I don't think he becomes a therapist. I just think that he can put together a process of where others can benefit from his journey. So kind of the better up thing. So maybe he wants to lean into that. What path is blocked from him? Two of Cups. His relationships and his ability to have relationships is very complicated. We have seen this with his relationship with his brother. They said, both of them have said that they fought terribly when they were kids, but they did love each other in the moment. They would fist fight, they would scrap, as siblings do. This happens. But his relationship with Catherine, the Princess of Wales, was very interesting to me, because it was almost effusive and over the top. And he really was. So you could see it the way he looked at her. He was so enamored with her. She was so lovely. And I think she was so kind. And I think that there were some blurry lines there. I'm going to say that. Relationship with his grandmother, the late great Queen Elizabeth II. That I think was a transactional relationship. I think the Queen was very kind and spoiled him to a certain extent because of the conditions of his birth, where he was born, and the status of his parents' marriage. I think the Queen was indulgent to him. I think his mother was indulgent to him. I think the court was fairly indulgent with him. And any of the hyperactivity that we saw on some of the interviews, I think that really was ignored and treated like something that they just had to gloss over. So, his perfect life, if he worked for it. What does a healthy, independent Harry look like? A healthy and independent Harry is very different from the Harry that lives in luxury. It is a Harry that is on an equal footing with the people that he is helping. It's a Harry that goes into the Peace Corps, or goes to Australia to work as a jackaroo, or goes to South Africa and works on a farm there. It's a Harry that is on an even playing field with others and experiencing the different lifetimes and lifestyles and cultures of others. It is a huge departure from his status as a prince. Down here, complete transformation. And this gives him independence. It doesn't make him work with others. So that is really cool. And when we get that magical solution, and I do think that this is still possible, when we get that magical solution, he becomes the magician. He becomes the guy who can get things done. He becomes the guy who can produce and who can heal and who can help. So, what geographical location aligns with his soul? And we're going to look at some of the top contenders in his world. Is it England? Absolutely not. Is it the United States? Absolutely not. Is it Canada? Oh, Canada. So Canada looks like she's a winner. Let's see if Africa, because we know he likes Africa. Africa is not the place for him. It is not the place for him. How about Europe? We're just going to keep going. Europe is not the place for him. How about some fun island down in the South Pacific? Nope. How about an island down in like the Bahamas or that kind of area? Four of Swords, that'll be a good place for him to rest and recover. But it looks like Canada is the place of Harry's heart. So we're going to leave that there. If you're any of my Canadian friends, I am not energetically sending him to you, but I do think that he would be most happy there. So what daily habits, communities, and family structures would elevate him in that scope? So being a thought leader, but at the same time maintaining some humility and even level with others. We have this death card for ultimate transformation, really something very, very far from what he is now. So what does he need to release? Now we've heard talk about Canada being possibly a landing place for him. It was the landing place on the Freedom Flight. So is Canada, what are we looking at here? What does he have to release to get to? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Did I say what habits and communities and structures elevate him? Let's do that. Let's do that. I have questions here, guys. I have this framed out. Judgment, not judging people. Temperance, 8 of Cups, not giving up. Justice in reverse. Always finding the good in the people around him and exploiting that or elevating it. I'm sorry, guys, I said elevating. Exploiting it or elevating it. And I mean exploiting in the very best of ways. So this would be not judging people, understanding that everyone, Tim Curry in Legend said it best. I am a part of you all. What good is light without darkness? So everybody has two sides to them. Everyone has a good and a bad side. Flip that coin. Some of us can be sweet mommy and some of us can be screaming Mimi when there's cat litter all over the bathroom and your son didn't sweep it up. So never giving up, never walking away, facing the danger at hand and not kicking it down the road. So, so important. And that in the end, bad blood will out. And when the time is right. One can speak with some level of authority if there is injustice or an assumption made about their character. So, for example, this could be a homeless person. There could be a judgment made on the choices that they have made in their life that had gotten them into that circumstance. With good work, with an honest effort, they can come out of that, certainly. So what does he have to release? This idea of proving that he is a magnificent superstar. What timeline indicates that he could reach that in this lifetime? 8 of Cups. He's got to jump through some flaming hoops first. He's got to mea culpa, say that he did the wrong things. He has to take back some of the words that he said. I'm going to say that I think spare needs to be corrected. Queen of Wands, that is definitely saying that my emotions got the best of me. That is a bend of the knee. That is absolutely a bend of the knee. And what else? The 8 of Pentacles. Stop trying to be the master of the universe. Stop trying. So I think that that is pretty interesting. So he's not an entrepreneur. He is absolutely not an entrepreneur. And I do think that Harry has a lot to answer for in terms of the book Spare. Currently, he is doubling down on the storyline because the whole Colbert appearance that he made did not really show that there's any kind of a spiritual or personal evolution like this. So hopefully Harry will see this video. I doubt he will, but I do these videos in the hopes that I send out energetically some kind of corrective course for celebrities, royals, public figures, political figures, and the like. So Tarot fam, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure that you do drop your questions down below. Every single production video on my channel is viewer driven, and your requests shape what we're going to explore next. So I want to hear from you. Right now, I am going to, after this video, I'm going to head into a real quick short live. We'll answer a few questions about, anything that I didn't cover. So let's unpack this. I will not be open for Hypsy readings today because we're going to see our daughter perform up at university. She's going to be home very, very soon, less than 10 days away. So she will be home for a month, but you can chat with me in the live. And tomorrow we're going to do this same format, but I am going to have open hours on Hypsy. So hope to see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you shortly in the future.